Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're having a good day today. Good day for me. Worked and got home, chilled out. I actually had a nap. I hardly ever nap anymore, but I was tired, so I had a quick little nap, and now I'm refreshed. Um, so, long story short, I gotta. This might be a very long video. I know some of you like long videos, some of you don't. I'm not giving you any notes or reviews or anything like that on these fragrances. It's going to be quick. Hopefully, as quick as I can make it. Um, Somebody asked me what were my my Hall of Fames. And I got thinking and thinking about it, and I thought, well, how would I define a Hall of Fame fragrance? Personal too. This is personal, of course. Because once you see this list, you know it's personal because it's pretty much as me can get fragrances, right? Um, a lot of you are probably thinking crazy putting half of these on here, but it's mine. So I got thinking about how would I, and then I got thinking, well, what if I had a, God forbid, a fire or something, and I could only grab a handful of fragrances? Which ones would I grab? And that made it a little easier. But I still had like 50, 60 fragrances in my head that I'm looking at my stuff. I'm like, oh, the time I was done, I had about 57, I think 57 fragrances listed. And I was like, well, no, that's too many. So I said, well, I'll boil it down. Let's do 10. And so I boiled it down to, 26, 27 fragrances. So I can't narrow it down any lower, really. So finally, I got it down to 20. And it's like, well, 20 is still too much, I mean, but I'm giving you 20 anyway. And the first 10 are not the ones I would grab immediately. If I could only grab 10, it would be the last 10 I'm going to show you. But the first 10, for the simple reason, is most of them are cheap, um, easy to get, cheap. Uh, yeah, and so I wouldn't be too upset if I lost them. I could buy them. Most of these I could get for, geez, under $200 if I lost these first 10. So it wouldn't be a huge loss. Uh, but if I could grab them on top of my other 10, I would. So these first 10, and there's a mix of old, new, aftershave, colognes, uh, you know, real fragrances, cologne fragrances. There's a mix of everything in here. And you'll see I've got very eclectic taste. Now, just because these first 10 I'm going to give you didn't make the official list doesn't mean they're not great. Um, but the first five, I could definitely see some people saying no, no. But these are the five super nostalgia scents for me. Uh, these would be my top five. If I could only say five and they weren't cheap or they were hard to get, then these would be the five I'd grab. But since these five are all relatively cheap and easy to get, it would be a big deal. Um, and they're all like I said, super nostalgia for me, right? Uh, First is Chaps, Ralph Lauren Chaps. Quick little story, like I said, I'm trying to keep this video quick. It was my cousin Davey committed suicide when he was uh, 30 years old, and it was his scent, and he was always good with the girls and the ladies and stuff. And we're talking early 90s, and the reason it was his scent is because he liked it. I don't really like the smell, like as a something I'd really reach for nowadays. But back then it was Ralph Lauren and it was cheap, so yeah, Ralph Lauren Chaps. Sure kind of are. Just so many memories. My cousin's coming down from Ontario, getting a bottle of this, spraying it, smelling it for the first time, loving it. Chicago. Just Chicago. I don't need to say anything else about Chicago. Get it if you don't have it. I don't care. Blind buy it. That's the first time I'm going to say blind buy it in a long time. I don't care if you like. You got to have it in your collection. Just say you have it. Old Spice deodorant, or not deodorant, body spray, aftershave, cologne, whatever. Old Spice reminds me of Grampy. You know what I mean? So yeah. Talked about English leather a lot. I do like the fragrance. I do wear it from time to time still. It's not something I reach for a lot, but reminds me of when I was young and opened my father's drawer and he had a bottle of this in there, and it's all you could smell. sorry, but a frog in my throat. That's all you could smell when you opened the drawer was English leather. So it immediately, and my father's still around, hopefully for a while yet. I'm just saying, it's got a lot of nice. My dad wasn't a big fragrance guy, and I guess more because he couldn't afford it though. He might have been if he could afford it when we were kids, but yeah, English leather. Preferred stock. My grandmother, Nanny. The first fragrance she bought me that I actually wore, like, as a fragrance as a young person, 12, 13 years old. And, sorry, every time I smell it, it makes me think, Nanny. Simple, straight. I'll always have a bottle of all of them one way or another, by hook or by crook, right? Now, the next 5 are relatively cheap. There's 3 clones here, and 3 of my favorite clones, and my dupes, and so they're all relatively cheap, and that's why they didn't make the list. They're kind of easy to get. Got to get them online, but they're still easy to get. The dupes, and the other 2 are relatively easy. Walking to Marshall's right now. As a matter of fact, I was at Marshall's earlier today, and they had this there, which you guys should go get it. And that's Windsor by English Laundry. Yeah, sweet, woody pipe tobacco. Just gorgeous. Slight touch of oud. Gorgeous. And if you have a Shoppers in your area, go get this too. Solely Notes Vetiver. I've talked about it a few times now. It's surprisingly green, minty, woody, fresh. Performance is an issue, of course, but I mean, 4 or 5 hours. Not bad. $20. Get it. Next is the Paris Corner. Amir, you're drugged. It's first off the presentation. Yeah, I don't really care for the tassel or whatever it is, but I mean, other than that, it's a neat little presentation. Heavy cap, real heavy cap, like a metal cap. Yeah, powdery, kind of sweet, kind of spicy, chocolatey, like fragrance. Just really nice. Similar to Amen by Terry Mugler. Assad, and you can include Dior Sauvage Elixir in it if you want to change it, but yeah, again, slightly sweet, some spices, some aromatics, some woods, a modern old school fragrance. Really nice, really nice. And I kind of like Assad a little better than, I think I've said it before to you, than the Elixir, although I love the Elixir, so I should tell you how much I really like Assad. Simply because it's a little smoother, a little bit easier to wear, but either or, dealer's choice really on that one. And Club de Nuit, just the original Club de Nuit. Simply because it was my first real Aventus clone, and I like it. Still one of my favorite clones. So, yeah. So they were the 10 that didn't make the official top 10, but could have easily, and I had to mention them because I couldn't do this list without mentioning them, especially the first 5. They're just my nostalgia. I'll always have a bottle of, simply because of what they remind me of. Okay, so now let's get into the official top 10 fragrances that are my Hall of Fame, that if I had a fire and I had to grab them, I would grab these 10. YSLY, the original EDT. Hard to get now for mine. Now, there's a Y EDT, but this is the original, not the reformulated one. It's my favorite of the Y line. It's sweet, it's musky, it's fresh, it's all that stuff. It's just a nice fragrance. My favorite. The Polo Cologne Intense gives me a slight hint of that classic Polo DNA. Very slight. Just real modernized. It's fresh. It's green. It's minty. It's better. It's just great. Give it a try if you haven't. It's really underrated fragrance. A clone, a dupe. The only dupe in here that yes, it is. Reinhardt Parfum. My love of Fahrenheit is showing through with this one. while not expensive to get or hard to get right now, it is still one that I would grab. I love Fahrenheit, and I love the fact that this takes that Fahrenheit DNA, changes it up a bit, makes it a little more wearable by today's standards, adds a nice slight rum vanilla kind of accord. Just gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. Not a bad performer either. Yeah, nice. Um, some of you are going to hate. I don't care. Sauvage EDP. I love this the first time I smelled it. I liked it better than the EDT. I liked it better than the Parfum. It's my favorite of the original three. By a lot, honestly. Yeah, just, takes that original Sauvage DNA, again, smooth it out, takes the edges off. Again, with a little bit of vanilla, giving it a nice, smooth, slightly sweet base. Gorgeous stuff, gorgeous stuff. Yeah. Good old Tom Ford, Gray Vetiver. Just a nice vetiver scent. Clean, woody, slightly soapy, very citrusy. Very citrusy off the top, very effervescent off the top. It pops. Very nice scent. Expensive, I know, but if you can get a bottle of it, you try it. Just try it. And get a bottle if you can. The original Fahrenheit. I had to include that in here. And not because I can't get Fahrenheit anymore. I could get a bottle of Fahrenheit, but this is from like 97. You see I got a little bit left. And I'm saving it. As time goes on, this just gets better and better. I know some people say fragrances go bad, but this thing is, almost 30 years old. It smells better than it did when I first got it. That's just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. That violet gasoline kind of vibe and woods and just gorgeous. Some of you gave me a little flack for saying this is great. And I'm telling you right now, it really is great. And it's obviously in this list, so it's one of my favorites now. And that's Guess 1981 Indigo. Kind of a woody, slightly toasted coconut. Musk, some fresh aquatic vibes. It's just gorgeous scent. A unique, fresh fragrance. Really unique, especially for Guess. You never thought Guess would come out with something like this, but this might be hard to test. A lot of times it's just at Marshall's. And if you can't test it, it's like $20. Give it a shot and buy it. Don't like it, you can sell it. Get your money back. To actually take it back to Marshall's, you can open and spray it in your car and take it back to Marshall's if you don't like it. Yeah, Guess 1982 Indigo. Another Tom Ford. I know it's expensive, but I would grab this one. My love of old school fragrances will come through with this one. This has definitely got that old school barbershop vibe, but a more modern, a little bit of more spice and stuff in it. And it's technically a barbershop, so you guys probably know what it is already. Tom Ford Beau de Jour. Beau de Jour. Oh my God, this stuff is so nice. If you love barbershops, but you want something maybe a little more modern, and the spice in this is ridiculously good. The woods, oh my God, this stuff is just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. It's worth the money, 100%. One of the few that is worth fucking full retail, to my opinion, if you have to pay it. My favorite citrus scent of all time, Jean Varvatos, Artisan Pure. Again, simple citruses and musk and white woods and white moss. I mean, it's a clean, fresh citrus scent with decent performance for a citrus scent and for a Jean Varvatos. just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Absolutely. And I guess last but not least would be, I really like this one. I've talked about it before, but I don't think my love for this one has come across. And it's one that I liked since first sniff. I've had a bottle for a while. It's great. I ran out. I couldn't afford a new bottle. Finally got a new bottle of it again. And I'll never be without another bottle of this again. Why so low? The original. Again, ginger and citrus pop with that cardamom, almost tea-like mid with a woody musky, just a gorgeous scent. Fresh, but not super, super fresh. It's not like fresh like this. It's got a little more depth to it, but just a gorgeous scent. It never fails to make me feel good when I wear it, to make other people notice me in a good way when I wear it. It's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Yeah, so that's it, guys. That's my my Hall of Fame. Technically, 20, but I broke it down into the tens for you because that's the best I could do. When you got as many as I got, that's it's a lot easier if I was sitting here with 50 fragrances, 100 fragrances to pick 10. It'd be a lot easier than 600, 700 fragrances. Oh, you got to pick 10. Ooh, it was hard. It was hard to get to these 20. Like I said, there's some honorable mentions I didn't even. Juicy Couture, Dirty English, Hugo Boss Bottled Elixir, Calvin Klein Escape, Cool Water. Looking over some of the stuff. Lana Weed Alone. Yeah, the original. Dior O could have easily made the list. Whispers in the Library, Maison Margiela or whatever it is there. Yeah, there's so many that could have made the list. A couple Avons could have made the list. Whole lot more old school fragrances because they all have meaning to me, but these were the 5 that were most important. Juke Jump probably should have made the list with the memory I have with it, but it didn't, so we'll give that a definite honorable mention. Yeah, that's it, guys. Tell me what you think. Give me your top 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever probably your Hall of Fame fragrances, if there was a fire and you could only grab 10 fragrances, what 10 fragrances would they be? I'm just curious. And what do you think of my list? I know a lot of you are going to think it's crazy because, there's a lot of stuff on here that most people wouldn't care about, but I just have so much nostalgia feelings for a lot of these, so they've got to come with me. I'm going to be buried with this motherfucker. I'll tell you that right now. Put that right in my will. You bury me with this bottle. Well, actually, I got my Nan's bottle that she got me out on my Nan's shelf. This is a newer bottle. All right, guys. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.